Hey, it's 9 News meteorologist Cory Reppenhagen here with the weather update for you. We'll continue to be mostly clear and warm across the Front Range today as we're just about hitting that 90-degree mark. And I think the storms that will form later on today and really are just starting to form will all stay to the east of the Front Range, so we'll also stay relatively dry. Let's take a look outside and see what that sky looks like around the Denver area. You can see still a lot of blue skies and sunshine for us above the mile-high city. A few clouds starting to appear over the mountains and just above the city, but we're not looking at anything in the way of impactful precipitation, as it's 88 degrees currently at Denver International Airport. 89 has been the high so far today, but I think we'll probably burst up a couple more degrees here to about the 91 to 93 range in between now and 5 o'clock tonight. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch out there right now, and that does go till 7 p.m. It includes mostly the Nebraska area, but also a few counties in northeast Colorado, including Sterling and Julesburg and Holyoke, and those storms are just starting to fire now. We do have some storms down to the south. Not too much action in Colorado, but it is starting to show up now. We do have some severe thunderstorm warnings. We do have a tornado warning up in the Nebraska Panhandle. There was a tornado reported just to the northwest of Sydney not too long ago, and there is an ongoing severe thunderstorm warning in Logan County, just in the Sterling area, and that is putting down some significant hail in that area right around the city, and that will continue to move generally to the east northeast, and you can see just below that there's a line of thunderstorms forming that will also have the opportunity to grow stronger in size. Let me just pull this down here to take a look at that situation up here in the Nebraska Panhandle. You see that tornado warning that's in progress just to the north and west of the city of Sydney. There was a report of a tornado on the ground, and there is also radar indicated rotation in that system. So that's the most potent storm, but you can see a line of storms stretching up to the north and northeast, which are also strong and have some severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing with them. So we do have the potential all the way down through the northeast plains of Colorado to continue to see these severe thunderstorms. The watch goes until 7 o'clock, and that's because they are relatively fast moving. Let's switch over to the computer forecast model. You can see this is the 3 o'clock time frame on the futurecast, and you can see those storms really stretching all the way down to the Interstate 70 East Corridor. And I know that Yuma County and Kit Carson County are not included in the current severe thunderstorm watch, but these storms have the potential to become severe and potentially with 2 to 3 inch hail. That's what we're watching for today. And then I think the tornado threat will also carry into Colorado, especially on any of the southern end of these line of storms that do form this evening. So here we see move the computer model forward to about 4:30, and you can still see a pretty strong storm there out near Burlington, in between Burlington and Goodland. We could have some severe storms, some very impactful severe storms down there, even though that they're not included in the severe thunderstorm watch. And then as we go to about 6 o'clock, most of the modeling that we've seen over the last 24, 36 hours has shown that these storms will push out of the state by 6 o'clock tonight, and likely we're not seeing anything in the way of any pushback. So like you see those outflow boundaries that often get pushed back towards the west, and they'll ride up the slope of the eastern side of Colorado and gradually try to build into some storms, but we have not seen that any indication in that in the modeling. So we'll likely stay pretty dry. Unlike last night, we did have a little outflow boundary push through just before midnight in the Denver area that sparked up a few moderate-sized rain showers, nothing too impactful. All the big weather overnight was down in the Arkansas River Valley and near La Junta, which really had some big impactful storms. So good news for the 4th of July. Will really cool things down. We're watching for a cold front, a 4th of July cold front. And really when the cold fronts come through in the summer, they're really cool fronts, right? Because you're not going to really feel cold air, but it does have an impact on your temperature. So we'll be watching for that cold front to come through overnight tonight, maybe before midnight in Fort Collins, maybe a little after midnight in Denver. But as this thing does move through, it'll leave us with some nice cool air on sunrise for your 4th of July celebration. If you're off, you'll really have a noticeable impact on these temperatures if you're outdoors on Independence Day, because take a look at these forecast high temperatures, maybe even not even breaking 85 degrees in the Denver metro area. The front will have a little bit more impact to the north and northeast of Denver, so those temperatures maybe even struggling to break 80 degrees for tomorrow. So these temperatures really comfortable given what we've seen on the 4th of July historically. It's usually absolutely scorching outside with many of our 4th of July temperatures peaking in the middle to upper 90s over the last 15 years. Except for last year, it was kind of cool, but we had a severe weather threat and that carried across a lot of the Front Range. But this year will be cool and without the threat of severe weather. It won't be completely void of thunderstorm activity. Here's the computer forecast model for your Thursday, the Independence Day celebration. We'll see a few storms up towards the north. That's kind of where the cooler air meets that instability. We'll get some thunderstorms going along the state line there, Colorado and Wyoming, also in the Nebraska Panhandle. But these are likely not going to be severe thunderstorms, and with them popping at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's mainly because of the daytime heating in conjunction with the cooler air up above us, and maybe a few storms out on the Palmer Divide, as well as some of these storms will use the slope of the terrain to lift up a little higher in the atmosphere. But as we move into the nighttime hours towards the time when we'd fire off those fireworks in celebration, not seeing anything in the way of impactful storms to delay those firework festivities. The only thing that could come in between is any cancellations because of the dryness. Honestly, everything below 7,000 feet right now is incredibly dry. But if those firework celebrations haven't been canceled yet, then most likely those ones are going to carry on for tomorrow. So we do also have an interesting storm down in the tropics going through the Caribbean right now, the Hurricane Beryl, which was the earliest forming Category 5 hurricane ever recorded. And here you see it's about to swipe the bottom side of Jamaica. And so since it's on the southern side of Jamaica, that's going to mean the business end, so to speak, the worst winds and rain, which carry momentum around the cyclonic circulation, would be to the north. And so Jamaica is getting a pretty hard hit with the with Hurricane Beryl right now. And as we look into the future, the next 72 hours or so, to see where Beryl is headed, it is forecast to run into the Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula in the next couple of days. Now, the reason why this storm was able to reach Category 5 strength this early is because of warm ocean temperatures out there beyond the the Caribbean into the hurricane formation zone of the Atlantic. Very warm, and also very little wind shear, which is very typical in a transition from an El Nino to La Nina weather pattern. But it has started to encounter some of that wind shear in the Caribbean, and it will continue to do so, and is forecast to weaken to possibly a Category 1 or 2 storm at landfall very early on Friday morning in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. So places like Cancun and Cozumel will start to feel the impacts of this storm on Thursday. And as that storm goes over the landmass of the Yucatan Peninsula, it will further weaken. It will also encounter wind shear. So there's a big question mark about what will happen to Beryl after Friday night and into this coming weekend. So we'll have to wait and see if there's anything left of that system once it reemerges into the Gulf of Mexico, where it will have an opportunity to strengthen and actually impact parts of the United States. But it looks like there is very little chance of any moisture from this tropical system to reach as far as Colorado. It'll probably just be the very bottom of Texas. So if we look at the jet stream forecast going forward, the bend, the little bend up to the north, just scraping parts of Colorado, you see the lighter shades of orange and the yellows there. That is about as what a trough of low pressure looks like in the summer, and that is what's going to be impacting us, pushing a few weak cold fronts across the area over the next few days, keeping us windy. So you may have noticed some of the winds translating down from the jet stream. That'll stay over Colorado, particularly northeast Colorado, for the next few days. So Independence Day, cooler. No severe weather threat, but there will be some windy conditions. Winds could reach the 20-mile-per-hour range here in the Denver metro area over the next few days. And then as we go through the week here, on Saturday night into Sunday, we will get a stronger cold front, which could actually bring some widespread precipitation, measurable precipitation to the Denver area. Might be the only chance over the next 14 days for Denver to actually get any meaningful precipitation there. And that will also be the storm system that pushes Beryl out away from the United States. So that will also be another impact. Another thing to look for, look what's out to our west. That big area of red. That is a ridge of high pressure, very strong, and that is forecast to scrape over Colorado over the start of next week, and that is going to be a hot one. So a heat wave is on the way. Here's your 7-day forecast. You see the nice Independence Day, another little cool front on Friday, keeping us below 90, maybe hitting 90 degrees on Saturday before the impactful cold front comes in on Sunday. Maybe squeeze out a 1/10 of an inch to a 1/4 inch of rain, but that might be the last shot for a while. As you see at the back end of this 7-day forecast, the heat starting to come back here. Starting Tuesday, we'll get back into the 90s, and we may be in the middle to upper 90s for about 5 days after that. So that's what you have to look forward to. So enjoy these little cool fronts, over 3 of them in the next 4 days. So hopefully that helps you with your planning and all the information that you needed out of your weather for this area. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.